Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the real Cut My Music Wrestling. It's your boy, the Black Patriot, once again, bringing you the dopest wrestling content on the net because wrestling is my number one priority and wrestling is my number one passion. Yeah. Now that the introductions are out of the way, remember guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a small thing to you, but for me it means the world, and it means the world to the channel. Hitting that like button lets the algorithm know that yes, you did indeed enjoy what you liked, and it will put me in rotation. It's going to help me reach other like-minded individuals, other individuals that is passionate about this crazy sport called professional wrestling. And today I'm going to just do a quick little video. As you can see, or you might see between edits, that I am at work. I'm on my break, but I wanted to do a quick video about something that's been on my heart for a while now. And you might have heard it if you fan of professional wrestling, you followed any of my other content. That thing is LA Knight. Yeah. What are we doing with this man? I don't understand. I don't understand how a guy can be consistently as over as LA Knight is, as LA Knight has always been since he came to the main roster. Even before in NXT, he was over. I don't understand why Vince McMahon wanted to change him to Max Dupree and put him with the male model guys. I was so like, what the heck is that? But then he was switched back to LA Knight, and given the opportunity to run with it, he has ran with the ball, hit a home run, ran the bases, caught it himself. Like, he is doing everything. How many times does a guy have to knock it out of the park on the mic, in the ring, with charisma, with a great look? I mean, come on. Let's think about his look for a minute. The guy is chiseled, yo. Chiseled. Like he's made out of granite. He looks like a professional wrestler. He come out with that vest on, remind me of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not that he reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you could tell that he's pulling a little from Austin and The Rock. And if you're going to pull from anybody, pull from two of the greatest of all time. He got that vest on. He got the Rock and Austin swagger in his promos. This guy is main event. He should have been a world champion several times over. He didn't get the NXT title. He has not sniffed the world. He didn't get the world heavyweight title. And he has not sniffed the WWE title. So at this point, I have to make this video because I need to know. Can somebody in the comments tell me? Can anybody help me out? What is it? What more can LA Knight do to move up the card? At this point, I have to think there may be some type of personal animosity, some type of jealousy. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, and here's the thing. Even with those two United States title runs, you can tell that WWE know that this guy is a star. It's not like they're oblivious. They know. Even when he was feuding with Roman a few years ago, the crowd was heavily behind LA Knight, man. And then you get to the point where you're going to tell me Roman is the big dog, Roman is the tribal chief, Roman is the head of the table, he's the greatest superstar you guys have produced in the last decade, but your audience is firmly behind LA Knight. Not a little bit behind him, firmly. At the pay-per-view, everybody wanted LA Knight to win every time they fought, and what did WWE do? Screw this man over every single time. Like, even if he would have got the belt and Roman would have got it back at a later date, they act like they don't do that anymore. Like, what happened to the days where there was actually a championship feud? Now it seems like people just, either they get the belt, and if they lose it, they don't go after it anymore, or they fight the champion, lose to the champion, and is never considered again. Why is it that a guy like Damian Priest could at least get a shot? Like, they pulled the trigger and they took a gamble with Damian Priest to see what they would get. Why is it that a guy like that, who is generic as all get out, doesn't really have a great look for real? What is he, just a big Spanish guy? Like, doesn't really have a great look, cannot cut a promo, is not a charisma person, and does not sell merch, but he can get an opportunity to see what kind of world champion he'd be. But a guy, oh, and let's not forget, LA Knight can cut promos. LA Knight is charismatic, and at one point he was the highest selling merchandise guy in WWE, but then they still don't do nothing with him. I don't understand this. So I don't want to keep saying, oh, it's a conspiracy, but what is it? The most over guy don't get a title. Okay, the highest merchandise seller don't get a title. What are you doing? What are you saying to us? And what's going to happen is eventually it's going to be over for LA Knight, because like we know, as Daniel Bryan said, wrestling fans are fickle. If WWE keep positioning him to lose, people want to be like, oh well. Even the most diehard LA Knight fans are going to be like, well, he always lose. We're going to give up hope. That's me. I'm a diehard LA Knight fan. I will never give up hope. I'll give up hope that he might win the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. But in my mind and in my heart, outside of Roman Reigns, LA Knight is that guy. He could have been where Roman Reigns is. Think about what would have happened if he would have beat Roman Reigns. He would have been elevated. And now you would have been in a position where you have a credible star that is a baby face, for one, and is not corny. You heard me, corny. Because sometimes babyface champions come off as corny, and that's why so many heel champions are running away with it. Like right now, John Cena is a heel, and Gunther is a heel, and even in AEW, John Moxley is a heel. The heels are running away with the industry. Where are the baby faces? Where are the Hulk Hogan's? Where are the Stone Colds? Where are the Bruno Sammartinos? Where's the pre-heel John Cena's? Where's that guy? That guy is LA Knight. I said it was Jey Uso because at least they were pushing Jey Uso, but now I see that Jey Uso was just a game to them. He's just a transitional champion to them. They gonna take the belt off of the most over guy on Raw and put it on the most boring champion who has ever been a champion. Gunther is terrible. Gunther does not move merch. Gunther is horrible. He's so boring. So you mean to tell me this guy can have 2 title reigns, one of them being a long title reign, but LA Knight can't get nothing? It's like if you get over and you're charismatic, but you don't fit into the plan that they had, they will give you nothing. And you cannot tell me this is not what happened. Because even as far as the United States title scene, why the hell would LA Knight lose to Shinsuke Nakamura? Nobody has cared about Shinsuke in years. And that's WWE, that's not Shin. Because when Shinsuke first came into WWE, I cared about him and I wanted to see him get the world title. But they did nothing with him for so long, his aura is gone. LA Knight aura is slipping. However, in recent weeks, he has built it back up. So if LA Knight can be as over as he is, lose some of his momentum because of WWE not doing anything with him, but gets it back, like, come on, he got it back. The time is now to strike. The time now to strike while the iron is hot. We have to get this man a world title. We have to get some form of championship on LA Knight, because at the rate that WWE is going, his window is closing because he's in his 40s. I believe he's like 42 or 43 maybe. And like the window is closing. You know this. The closer a wrestler gets to 50, you know it's over. Most guys don't wrestle past 50. And if they do, they're winding down. They're on the tail end of their career. So LA Knight is not 39. LA Knight is not 40. I believe he's in his 40s. So his window is closing. The time is now. Strike while the iron is hot, yo. This guy could be the focus of one of those shows for the next 5 years. I believe he got 5 more good years in him. Until people will start seeing him as old. But if his aura can maintain, look, R-Truth is 53. And I believe R-Truth should get a title shot. One last go home, because you know he's on his way out. I don't know how long LA Knight is going to stay in wrestling. But I know from history that 50 is old for a wrestler. And the closer a wrestler gets to 50, they start signaling that they're going to be retiring soon. LA Knight could be the biggest thing in wrestling. The only thing that is stopping LA Knight is the company holding him back. I guarantee if LA Knight was to be released and picked up by AEW, he would be the biggest star in that company if they pushed him correctly. If they used him, if they allowed him to do his same LA Knight gimmick, but in AEW, he would be the biggest star in that company. Because that's the thing about LA Knight. He has charisma, he has aura, he has something that the fans want to connect with. If you keep putting this dude on the back burner, it's going to eventually burn out, and then it's going to just be like LA Knight, just some regular guy. And he was never a regular guy. He was never a mid-carder. He's always been main event level talent. I think maybe Triple H or somebody has something against him, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he won't play by their rules. I don't know. But for you to keep continuing to crap on the most popular guy on the roster makes no sense. If this was the Attitude Era, LA Knight would have been a multiple-time world champion feuding with Stone Cold and The Rock. If he had the same aura the way he has it now, because outside of Jey Uso, who else is that over? And that's another thing. How come you could give the guy that has four letters, one word, yeet? How can the yeet guy get a world title, but the yes guy can't? LA Knight has everybody in the arena saying yes, but he can't get no world title. I don't get it, and that's why I'm not trying to say that LA Knight is done, but if, at the rate that their WWE is doing to him, he's going to be done. He's the one that got his ass kicked and took the pin at Backlash, right? And then he was the last man in the Money in the Bank that Seth Rollins took out before Seth Rollins eventually won. And then on SmackDown, he was pinned by Randy Orton. After coming to the ring, man, he was like, doing his promo, and he said something that stood out to me because he has that kind of aura. Again, Stone Cold. He was like, and that's one thing I know y'all don't want is for me to come down to that ring. He is doing everything he's supposed to do as a professional wrestler. WWE just won't book him as the star that he is, and that is on them, and that is a detriment to their roster. That's why the product is stale. That's why the ratings are dropping. That's why it's boring. That's why people aren't attending these PLEs, and these PLEs are terrible, because instead of doing what the fans want, you just go ahead and do what you want. And I understand it. The fans don't really mean nothing to WWE. They're a global they're an entertainment company. We can't even call them a wrestling company anymore. They're a global pop culture entertainment phenomenon. So they to a point where the fan don't matter because they know they're going to make their money regardless. But you're going to make your money regardless, but your product is terrible. And you will not attract new fans. You got guys, and LA Knight isn't the only one. There are other people that should have been up the card and got themselves organically over. I think WWE hates that. I think WWE wants to tell us what we like, but if somebody gets over on their own, they shut that down altogether, and that's just sad. And like I said, man, LA Knight is that guy. With or without a title, he's that guy. Because I'm looking at him and I'm looking at the other wrestlers on there. He is that guy. But yeah, guys, that's it from me today. That's it from the Peanut Gallery. That was just my little rant, yo. LA Knight should be world champion. He should be higher up the card. But it is what it is. They ain't going to do nothing with him. I figured 3 years in a row he lost Money in the Bank. Then everybody was like, well, maybe he'll win the King of the Ring. He lost King of the Ring. The only thing left is the Royal Rumble. If he don't win the Royal Rumble, he's not going to get a world title this year. And if LA Knight go into another year, become another year older, in his 40s, closer to 50, the window is closing on him, and it's just not going to happen. And it's a travesty, because the man is the best in the company right now. Period. Outside of Roman Reigns, LA Knight is the best. He's better than Jey Uso. He's better than Gunther. He's better than Seth Rollins. I mean, John Cena is there. He's not better than John Cena, obviously, but John Cena is part-time. He's retiring. He already told us he had 18 dates left on Raw. He appeared on SmackDown. He has 17 appearances left. John Cena is done. The last time is now. Cody is not that guy. We've seen it. He had a year-long title reign that was boring and terrible. We've seen it. Gunther is not that guy. He had an 8-month title reign that was boring and terrible. Jey Uso, 51 days was not good. That's not on Jey. I thought they were building his title reign up. It was a transition. Jey is not that guy. LA Knight is that guy. LA Knight should be the face of the company. LA Knight should be leading the next generation forward. It's not going to happen if WWE, if Triple H don't do anything about it, man. And that's it. Like I said, that's it for me, man. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. This is the Black Patriot. This is the real Cut My Music Wrestling. I'll be here for you. I will always be here. The voice of the voiceless, the voice in the darkness, the sentry guarding the wrestling realm from BS and these crazy bookers with these terrible lackluster shows. If it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. If it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. Unbiased information for you guys. Peace out. And as always, stay safe.